see if I can figure, well, maybe you can figure that out, Jesse.
We can chop it.
Yeah, you can only do that. Let's go. All right, we're going to start now. Go ahead.
So managing buyers, that's obviously the task that Steve was just talking about right now. But obviously, before we do that, we want to be able to get buyers. So we're going to share with you guys a few ways that you can get buyers right now. Buyers should not be that hard to get. But one of those ways you can is, we talked about this in other calls, is partnering with other agents. If you have no business, you have nothing right now. Let's say you have no database, you don't have a listing, you don't got nothing. You can ask other agents, can I hold your property open?
And we can do open houses here now, so it's back on, baby.
Yeah, or even
Open
virtual
house.
ones, anywhere. You can do them virtually. So, yeah, and ask other agents. That's the first thing you should be doing, because a lot of agents don't even want to hold their homes open. There's a good chunk of agents that are like, I don't want to do open house.
Ask me, I'll give you one to hold open. I think, Jim, you're doing one for me this weekend, right? All right, see?
All right.
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay, you can hold. So holding an open house is obviously a great way to get buyers, because buyers are walking in all day long. And hopefully you are having them register. So I use the KV Core app that plugs them right in. When they sign into the open house on my iPad, it plugs them right into my KV Core, and they automatically start getting alerts, and I have them captured as a lead. Anything you want to add on that, Steve?
No, I don't think we're going to spend a whole lot of time on how to get the buyers, but that's the best way right now is open houses. And another really powerful way right now to find buyers is if you partner with a couple of lenders. Ask them if they have any dead leads they haven't talked to in a long time. Anybody they haven't communicated with, let them know that you'll call them, and if a lead comes active, you're going to use them for the loan. Obviously, they'll work with you if you're willing, and you're able to do this. You have the drive. They're going to work with you. They want agents that are out there working with buyers, so they will help you.
And when you ask them for their dead leads, like, people's financial situation changes every month, so they have leads that they pre-qualified 2 months ago, or they tried to, and those person's financial picture changed. So
yeah, maybe they're, with rates so low, maybe a year ago somebody couldn't afford the house they wanted. Now they can, because the payment's so much lower. A lot of different reasons. So another way we're talking about, Jesse, is database. Obviously, that's the best way to get any type of lead. We did talk about home buyer seminars. If really, I think the next 90 days is going to be the most active in the entire year. So screw doing a seminar right now. Just get out there and get on the phone. You're going to find people that are actively buying. The market is very, very good right now.
Yeah.
So, you can reach out to your database, get the Reach app, and send out a text to everybody in your entire database and let them know the market is on fire right now. There's a lot of pent up demand for homes. Who do you know that's thinking about buying or selling right now? And, get some excitement. You're going to get leads that way. So reach out to your database. What else do we talk about, Jesse? Craigslist?
yeah, a lot of people discount Craigslist, and they mock and they laugh, and, oh, that's Craigslist. Craigslist still works, and it's free. So, like, post an ad on there. If you're looking for these type of homes, you could post them by neighborhood. Like, hey, if you're looking at a home in the Glenview neighborhood, call me. I got some properties. You can, like, get really specific. I've gotten deals that way. I've made hundreds of $1,000s just off of Craigslist alone. So do not forget it and discount it.
Put something in the ad that says 3% down or something like that. People don't realize you can get a house and basically put little to nothing down on a FHA loan. It's 3.5% down. You can get a credit for the rest of the down, for the rest of the closing costs. So people don't understand that that's still available.
Yep. Which you can also do on Facebook, right? You can do the same thing on Facebook.
Yep. Very powerful to do an ad. You can pay $25, do a Facebook ad. Grab one of my listings and take the picture of the listing. we can help you with that. You just do a quick $25 Facebook ad, and on the ad, you put something like 3% down, less than 3% down, own this home. You're going to get people that will click on that. It goes to a landing page. I don't know how to do it personally, but we can hook you up with somebody that does that, and you will get leads that way. It's like $25. So there's a few ways.
You'll get 50 leads like that.
Right. So that's just a few ways you can get buyers. All right. So the tricky part is, Jesse,
managing them. So, and let's be real, guys. First, this is about your own like mindset, because buyers are going to suck the life out of you if you let them. If you let them, because they're going to take more time, take more energy. They're more demanding. You'll get that person that's like, oh, I don't have any money, but I want to buy that, $800,000 home downtown, the view. So you gotta really, really, really protect your mindset and your time. So Steve.
Yeah, and how do you do that? There's a couple things that you really have to do. Some of these things we don't always do as new agents. And the reason we don't do it is because of the fear of losing the prospect.
Yeah.
The sooner you get over that, the more productive you're going to be. I would rather lose a high maintenance $10,000 commission check from a buyer that's going to suck the life out of me mentally, physically, waste my time, and make me show them houses for 6 months. With that amount of time and energy, I could have had 10 more $8,000 buyers that bought something using the process and the expectations that I've set for them, and my life's going to be better. I'm going to make more money. It always is going to work out that way in the end. It's really hard to do, but you have to set the expectations with them and let them know you have a process, and they have to be willing to work with that process. It's just like, if you go to a dentist's office and you don't want to skip the cleaning and go right to the examination or something. You got to go through the process the right way, or it's not going to work right.
Yeah, I had a lady, the sweetest lady, and I was afraid of offending her because she was just the nicest. She was like everybody's grandma, the lady that makes cookies for the neighborhood. That lady, well, she sucked like my weekend after weekend after weekend after weekend. I didn't have a buyer's agreement signed. Come to find out, she told me she had talked to a lender, so I assumed, oh, she's pre-approved. Wrong of me. I wasted like 2 months of my weekends showing her properties, and then her relative was like an agent and like did it for her. So don't do that.
Yeah.
So prioritize based on motivation. Like that's why asking them questions. When are you planning on moving? Why do you want to move? When, what is the reason? Are you getting pushed out of your home? Are you tired of the cost? Are you tired of the commute? Find out that motivation that's making them move.
Yes. So you want to find out when, why, what, and how. So why are they moving? What's their time frame? How are you going to purchase the house? Are you paying cash, or have you been pre-approved with a lender? You want to ask all these questions up front and determine whether or not A, they're capable of buying a home. B, are they already working with a lender? Have they been pre-approved? And once you get those things straightened out, that determines whether or not you're going to move forward with them now, or you're going to put them down the road. So let's assume that they are working with a lender, they're pre-approved. You want to talk to the lender as well, make sure, hopefully they're working with your lender. And once you figure out, determine that you're going to be working with these people because they're motivated, they want to buy something in the next 30 days. They're pre-approved, they have the money, the down payment to purchase the house. And at that point, what you want to do is you want to start asking them, about the location and where they're going to move to, and let them know, I have a process by law, and in Illinois, we do have to get a buyer's agreement signed. So, let them know up front. Say, I'm going to go ahead and get that out of the way. I'll send that over to your email. for DocuSign. It's just, you know, a legal agreement that allows me to show homes to you, and, you know, states that we are working together, and they usually won't have a problem with it. Okay?
Yeah, and I want us to add one thing in there, Steve. If you frame it as I'm making a commitment to you and I need a commitment back to me, like you want an agent that's going to be committed and answers your phone when you call, answers your calls, right? You want an agent that's going to be available and is excited to work with you and makes you a priority, right?
And
well,
do the due diligence for you, and, you know, help you find the right home and make sure that everything's in place.
Yeah. So frame it that way. If you're having trouble with, like, I'm nervous or anything like that, just, hey, I'm committing to you. I just need you to commit back to me out of mutual respect. That's all.
And we have some scripts for this too in the website. If they're not in there, they're going to be in there after the call. Okay.
Yeah, I'll get those
that you can use. So after you determine that they're pre-approved and you qualify them, you get them to sign a buyer's agreement. I would say worst case, you have them at least have them sign that when you meet with them at the first house, and let them know that you're going to do that. Okay. Then you want to be very detailed about what they're looking for and what their time frame is and where they're looking. So you have a conversation with them. It's, you know, fully understand their motivation for buying. So we know that they have that motivation to do something soon. Find out exactly what type of house they're looking for in what areas, and let them know the process from there. You want to lay it out that you're going to set up a search for them on the MLS. Within the MLS search, it's going to send you an email. It's going to give you a login. Make sure you save that. You're going to log into your portal. It's going to send you a huge group of properties. I'm going to send you everything that's there because I don't want to miss anything. You know, sometimes information is not put correctly into the MLS, so I want to make sure you get all the homes that have what you're looking for, even if they made a mistake in the MLS. When you get that list, you go through and mark any home that you're not interested in as not interested. There's going to be 3 boxes: not interested, maybe, and interested. You want to mark each one of those the first time you go through. That way it will not send you properties again that you're not interested in or like properties. So any property that you feel like you probably want to see, mark interested. Do you have any questions? No? Okay, great. So Jesse, what do we do from there as far as, setting the expectations for the showings and moving forward?
So yeah, you want to tell them, like, again, as Steve mentioned, you have a process, and the reason why that you always want to paint the expectation and the process in there and how it benefits them. So, hey, there's a specific process we follow because, A, we want to make sure that your offer gets accepted. We want to make sure that you can be competitive, that we can negotiate more aggressively. You want to paint the picture like it's in their favor to follow your process. And as a byproduct, it's going to save you a lot of time. So when you're gonna let them know, hey, we're gonna look at properties, and we're gonna look at multiple properties at the same time. Steve is like, hey, 5 properties. That's easy to show that, right? It's easy to show 5 properties in one session.
That's my limit.
Yeah.
5, maybe 6.
And the reason why, when people are like, well, I don't, maybe they're like, oh, I found one and here's another one. If you don't batch them together, they're going to forget the feeling and what they experienced when they walked on that property if they look at them all in different days. I say, hey, put them all together. That way you can kind of compare them all a lot better. And then when we're done, you're going to rate every one of those, and then we can write offers on multiple properties at the same time. And it sets the expectation that, hey, we're going to go look at all these at once. We're not going to trickle it out over 4 days. That way, what you really like. You'll get a feel for what kind of properties you want to see, what kind of features that you liked the most, neighborhood that you felt good in, and we'll rate those out. As far as going out to show them, Steve, you want to talk about how you map them out in the order that you're going to show them?
Yeah, and I would just like to add that, you can present this to them and say, hey, typically what I like to do, we found works best is go to look at, we go to look at 3 to 5 properties on any given showing day. So what days, work best for you? I'm typically available, and give them like 3 different days and times. All right. This is how you maintain your schedule. Okay. You don't want to let them just, assume that they can throw you some properties and go see them anytime that they're ready to go see them. Let them know, hey, Tuesdays, I typically show properties. I'm available Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from, 5 to 7, blah, 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 blah. Which times work best for you? If you want to think about it, that's fine. But what we'll do is identify all the properties you're really interested in, and then we'll show 3 to 5 of those. We'll go look at 3 to 5 of those properties at a time, because I want you to make sure that you are able to remember everything that we saw at each property, and what benefits that you liked at each one. If you see more than 5, we find that it gets hard to remember what you saw on number 1 when you get to number 6 and 7 and 8. It's just the way it works. And then what we'll do, and then moving forward, here's how I'm going to set it up as far as the actual showing. So you kind of set the expectation. Then you go back to your computer, you figure out which homes you're going to see there. Let's say there's 5 or 6 properties they identified that they want to go see right away. Perfect. What I do is then map out directionally which properties I'm going to go see or show first, second, third, fourth, fifth. So based on where they're at, I'll usually leave about 30 minutes in between, unless there's a long drive or something, either 15 to 30 minutes. If it's in a townhouse, leave 15, 20 minutes. So I'll map it out, and then I'll set it up based on the map route, make sure that I have all those confirmed. And then before I go on the appointment, I'm going to make sure I'm prepared for the appointment. So I'm going to print out an MLS sheet for myself for each property, staple them together. So I have 5 MLS sheets, and then I'm going to get 5 MLS sheets, the client copy, stapled together in order. So when I meet them at the first house, this is usually how I do it, because I have a Maserati that nobody else can fit in, so I got to follow them there. I don't like riding with people. We go to the first house, I hand the client the pack of 5 that we're going to go see. We meet at the first house. They know exactly what the order is. I do all this stuff for a reason, because it makes things go smoothly. So they know, I'll just say, here's the order of homes that we're going to go in the MLS sheets. Let's go look at the first one. After we look at each house, Jesse, what do you do when you walk out of each house?
So I have them rate the property. At first, if it's a spouse or a couple, they like to talk about it. I let them kind of talk about it. Hey, what did you like? Blah, blah, blah. And I let them know, I want you to rate these, because we're going to write offers on the ones that you like the most. And I let them know we can write multiple offers. I try to encourage them to write as many offers as possible, because that's the only way you get a deal. So I try to get them to rate the property and talk about it. And then, because I'm protecting them from, I want to go back and see that one. I can't really remember. If they rated it as 7 or a 3, we don't need to go back to that property. Out of 3.
Yeah, I'll have them rate it like on a scale of 1 to 10. How much did you like this property? And if they say a 9, what did you like best about it? Circle those things on the listing sheet. And if it's a 3 or 4 or something like that, you can ask them, is this going to be one that's going to be off the list? Just right. Mark it off. But you want to take some little quick notes, because it's good to give the feedback to the agents, because I like when I get feedback from agents, if I don't have to go chase them around for feedback, and it's a good business practice to do that. So write it down. There's multiple reasons why you should take notes on each one of them. Take your business cards. Make sure you have business cards in your car. You want to put those at the property when you show it, when you leave, so that way they know that you've been at the house. Here's another reason why that could come in handy. As you know, I list a lot of expired and canceled listings, and I leave my card there. And every once in a while, I get a call from a property owner that their listing expired, and I was one of 3 people that showed the property. Or I called the property when it expires, like I do on my daily calls, and lo and behold, they asked you, well, did you ever show the property? As a matter of fact, I did. I had a buyer that went through it. They thought the price was a little bit high. I was really, trying to talk them into the benefits. But yes, we did show it. Great, because I'm only interviewing agents that showed the property. It's happened before. So it's free marketing. You're not doing anything illegal. They want you to leave the card there. So take advantage of it. It's a free business card, basically, if you're at EXP.
So one other thing too, when you're calling to set up all these properties, you're going to go show those 5 properties. We want to create a sense of urgency with buyers because most likely
Yes.
the market's competitive. So make sure that you ask the agent the questions like, when are you reviewing offers? Is there a deadline? Is there a particular, criteria or forms that you need? Is there any type of escrow company you're using? I try to get all that data so that I can be ready and let the buyer know, hey, they have a deadline Tuesday at 5 or whatever those criteria are.
Do you have any offers is the first question. Hey, is there any
Yeah.
offers on the table currently?
Are they cash?
And make sure your buyers understand this, that, we've been in a very strange market condition and cycle here, and there's a lot of pent up demand. If you like a house that we go look at that's been in the market for a day or two, there's a good chance somebody else liked it also. So if you really like something, we need to be ready to make an offer. Yep. And that's a good reason why, we can't go look at houses unless you have a pre-approval letter. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah. You also ask the agent, is there anything your seller's looking for? Are they looking for a quick close? Are they looking for a specific down payment, or like, what is it that we can strengthen offer? Because they want to get the deal done. So why not ask them, hey, what's going to make my offer shine?
Let me just throw a tip out there for our market. I'm sure you guys have it in yours as well, that this is not not known to all agents. It's a little bit more common now, but not 100% at all. If you go into a multiple offer situation, there's a form called an escalation clause. So if you got a buyer that loves a property, and and they know, and everybody that's looked at the house knows that this puppy's going to sell at full price, and there's multiple offers, and your clients really want the property, use an escalation clause, which basically states that my buyer is making an offer at X amount, let's say it's full price, with an escalation clause of $500 or $1,000 over the highest offer that you receive, capped at whatever that price is. So $300,000, the house is listed for $300,000. They're making an offer for $300,000, and the escalation is $1,000 on top of the best offer that you get, up to $309,000. That's your limit. So, that has worked in the past, and that's a good way to get multiple offers and get your clients the deal.
Yeah. All right. So what would you guys need to do now? And we'll take questions here. Is make sure that you get what sources. How are you going to get leads? We just talked about 7 ways to get buyers. Determine what that is and set that up. If it's Facebook, if it's Craigslist, if it's partnering with the lender, call some lenders. Like, just call some agents, get some open houses ready. Do that first. Then make sure you have a follow-up process, because every buyer is not going to just want to work with you the first time. Follow up with them. What is your strategy for that? And then obviously use KV Core for getting everybody on alerts so that they're in a database and they're getting those alerts. And then thirdly, determine what your showing process is. We talked about how we show properties. You might have some ways that you want to do it differently. But this is what's worked for us. So create your showing process and then start showing properties.
All right, guys. Any questions about working with buyers? Now is the time. If you're muted, unmute yourself and then talk. If you're not able to unmute yourself, let me know. For some reason, I can only see 3 of us, but I know there's more people on the call. I don't know why.
There's like 7 or 8 of us on the call here.
What do you got, Jim?
Yeah, that's just it. So I am, how do I say this?
Ready to shoot yourself?
No, maybe next week. Maybe next week. Yeah.
I can relate.
I'm getting swamped with these buyers, and I've got 3 going now. I'm happy that I've got people who want to go out. We're communicating all the critical data that we talked about in the past calls, but they're sucking the living time out of me right now.
Mhm.
And I don't want to say no, but I like what I just heard, in the last 15 minutes is at some point I will have to gather enough courage to say, I need this buyer's agreement. Here's how we're going to work the thing. Here's how it's going to play. And we need to have that understanding. And I want to do that right off the bat. I just need to develop that metal, so to speak, to do it. So that's, and the problem is, it's taking away from what I have learned to really like doing is cold calling. I had a process. It was working to the point where I had 22 people actually interested in buying or selling, and now I got none because of these 3 other people sucking the freaking time out of my day. There's no air in my room anymore because I want to do this, I want to do that, I want this school district. You know what? I found a better house. We'll pay more for the other school district. Make up your freaking mind. Sorry, but I want to say those things. Of course, I don't, and that's what I'm experiencing right now. So that was good coaching with the expectations and the buyer's contract. So I will use that moving forward. If they say no, then it's incumbent upon me. They're not going to sign it. It's incumbent upon me then to go find 2 other people who say yes, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, it's one of those things that, do I do it every time? I'm going to be honest with you, I don't.
Right.
But the reason I don't is a lot of times I'm working with somebody that's that I know.
Yeah.
And it's not an issue. But if you're working with a cold, with a lead that you get online, or one of my leads, damn it, you better sign it, because you better get it signed, because you actually technically have to have that signed to do the transaction all the way through. So,
right.
Getting that signed ahead of time just shows them that, do it in a professional manner. That's why I really suggest that you have a meeting with them before you even, not just over the phone, but actually, meet face to face if you can. I know it's kind of weird right now to do that, but, kind of go over the process. And if you go into EXP dashboard, I guarantee that there are some buyer, templates, like working with a buyer template, and, print something out, have something that looks professional, order those EXP folders and go there with the folder, and then just make it part of the process. You're a professional, your time is valuable. So if they waste your time and they end up going with somebody else after you've wasted hours and hours of your time, that's a big deal, a big hit to your business.
Right.
So,
I agree. Yeah.
You've got to let them, you just got to show them that you're bringing value to the table, and you just want them to, to respect your process and your time, just like you're going to respect theirs.
Yeah, I just two other things, and I did for the first time last weekend. I got a Facebook. I boosted a Facebook ad, and I got 72 people I never heard of before to at least check out my site. Now, 2 of them have actually engaged onto my landing page, so there's a lead. But so not a lot, but it's 2 more than I would have had for $9.
Yeah. Okay.
So, really cool. I love the Craigslist idea. I'll have to get my kid to get me hip to that. But I am interested in this Reach app. How does that work? Does that hit my KV Core and then send out texts automatically, or?
Unrelated to anything with EXP. It's just it's a $5 a month app on your cell phone. It's Reach. It's a green R. This is what the app looks like. And why I like that is you're able to make a generic message, like, who do you know that's thinking about buying or selling in the next 6 months? And you can use that same message and go, you can basically create that message, then get a list of people from your phone, contacts, and it'll allow you just to put their first name up there. And it'll say, Jim, who do you know this thing about buying or selling in the next 6 months? And then you can put, I appreciate you taking the time to think about it, Steve Merritt, EXP. And you can have that list of 20 people and just click, 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 click. 10 minutes, you can send it out to like 30 people.
Okay, so the name, thank you. The names are coming from your phone then.
Yes,
Okay,
comes from your phone contact.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It's
I will
very
look
cool.
at that. Yeah, thank you.
And it also stores all that information. So when you go back in there the next time and you pull up that message, it'll show you everybody that you sent it to and when. So if you use it for your database, you know, I use it for my database. I just go through and, you know, every couple of weeks I send a message to like 20 in my database.
Nice. Good idea.
And that has been worth tens of thousands of dollars to me in the last 6 months. I can tell you right now, I've got a lot of business just from texting people like that, from database, a lot of business. So
Sweet.
don't discount that.
I threw this up here, Jim, too. When Steve's talking about having a process or something to go over with them, this is a great way to talk about, hey, this is the process to buying a property. And then you can also fill in your own details of your criteria of working with them in your process. This is all in the expmarketingcenter.com. You can have access to all that. It's customized, ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, just another, I mean, you guys have seen this. I don't want to take up too much more time, but so I am showing this one couple. I'm pretty sure they're, you know, I have confidence they're going to go with me. But last Sunday we were showing homes, and you know they're in a specific area, and then you know she brings up her phone the night you know she came back from the showings, and you know she's found a Zillow ad. She called the freaking agent. Sure, you know I'll show you the house. It was his listing, and you know something happened between buyer and or you know my client or my person I'm working with and that particular agent, where he just wasn't fast enough and he wasn't getting back and talking to her where I am. So she called me Monday and says, I just want to let you know you're my agent, and I'm not going to go see that house with him, but can you show me that house? You know, so the point is, that would all be avoided if I had this contract, this buyer's agreement.
Yeah, because if you had that buyer's agreement and he showed the house to her and she wanted to make an offer, you're due a commission.
Right. Yeah.
If you have that agreement.
Just on the sale itself.
And regarding setting the expectation, I tell my buyers, do not look at properties on Zillow or Realtor.com or any of these sites, because I let them know. Even their own data, they say, is their own data index. The valuations and all the data is wrong. Even Zillow admits it. So
typically it's already under contract when they see it on there.
So
and that's why you didn't send it to them.
So set that expectation. Only look at properties that I send you from my website. When you get an alert every day or every week, those are the properties that I will check on for you. These other ones, that data is most likely not correct.
Okay, very, very good. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff in here. So you guys check this out. And then I'll be uploading some scripts to the Extreme Agents VIP site as well.
All right, guys, if there's no other questions, we appreciate everybody being here. I hope you guys got something out of it. As always, you can reach out to us after the call, and we'll get back to you ASAP. So we will see you next Wednesday. Everybody have a great week and a good weekend. Talk to you then.
Thank you.
Bye.